Right. You getting these shoes off? Get them off then, pal. Slip them off. For the sock lovers among yous, I've got odd ones on. Right. Hello, Disco Saloon. What episode is this?
3.
Episode 3, season 3. That's 2 frees. My name is Aaron, the hair twirler, Reed. This is Jay, the mustache twirler, Martin. Callum, the mic inspector, McF. And Bradley, the toucher of mics. The toucher of headphones.
Cut.
Reed.
If you're a Mike, you better run away. Where's the Michael? You're eating worms, Michael.
And we are here, and we're pretty turned up for it. It feels like we've got some stuff going on in the real world, and we don't know whether we'll be able to fucking continue cooking in this particular environment. So we're going to need to just make it count whilst we can. I don't necessarily have a fucking opening question, so I'm just going to say, tell me, what's your favourite sparkling wine? Someday.
Echo Falls.
Well, no, it doesn't need to be sparkling, actually.
Aye.
Just go wine, because that's a bit too niche. It's
Any
not that
white
niche.
one.
Any white one.
White one, Lauren likes white wine.
You're a white wine
See,
drinker?
I never really drank wine that much, and then Lauren was like, the clearer it is, usually the better it is. So I was like, alright. And then I knew whenever I get a clear bottle of white wine, it's quite good.
Clear bottle of white wine.
Aye.
So Echo Falls was a goat back in the day.
Aye, that's probably, I like that, man.
What percentage was that?
Don't know, but memory, you could get the...
Was it like a 13? Was there one?
No.
9%, I think it was.
I think they're 9% new. I think they might have been
it may have been
stronger
13
then.
back in the day then.
Or was it 11?
I thought it was 11.
Maybe
I don't know,
11.
but what remember it was just the normal one, but then there was the gin infused one, which was the stronger one.
Oh, fuck,
Then
aye,
was
so
setting you
there was.
absolutely loopy.
That was one boat when you were in your arse.
That was loopy fiasco, man. It was serious. Try to think. See that M&S, man. They've got wines for fucking touching every corner of the planet, man. They've got things you don't even ken about. I ken one and it's called Cotes du Rhônes. Don't even know what it is. I like I don't really like white wine because it tastes like vinegar, but there's that one. What's
Yeah,
that
it's
one?
vinegary.
White Zinfandel.
Ooh, Zinfandel.
Is that not a rosy wine, but
Maybe aye.
like I think it's called white Zinfandel, but it's
rosy.
red.
I don't like white wine.
Well, I like the wee white wine drink that we had at Danny's.
That is actually true. The Michael Jackson.
Did you just try that? Did we
No,
get
they
that?
weren't
didn't
there
get a
yet.
slice.
It was like a can of Diet Coke, just with like white wine poured into it.
Oh, what's that?
Because apparently Michael
quite
Jackson
good.
used to ask for that in his
Oh
radio.
shit! Right, I mind somebody saying about the Michael Jackson.
So we tried it, and at first we were like, don't know, but then we poured a wee bit more in, and it kind of made the Diet Coke have a bit of like almost like it's like a Coke lime taste to it, like it gave it like a bit of sweety fruitiness at the
It
inside.
would never walk to a full fat Coke. Definitely a
No,
Diet Coke.
because you would have lost the sweetness, I guess. And because
Aye.
it was a Diet Coke, it felt like the dryness was nice.
Aye.
Nice dry.
Aye.
So
Got me choking for a Diet Coke white wine.
We should try it, man.
I've-
Want to try it tonight?
I'll try it at some point.
So see, when it comes to like wines and that, my joke of the week is actually revolved around about this. It's just I couldn't really think of anything else to start. So like when it comes to wines and prosecco and fucking champagne and fucking all that shit. So one champagne and prosecco are regions of it.
Aye.
One's a region in Italy. One's
in France, champagne.
Aye, champagne, sorry. But the thing that blew my mind, the one that's called extra dry is the second most sweet. So it is. And the one that's called brew and then extra brew, like brut,
Aye.
they're the drier ones.
Aye.
So see, like when we were drinking Merry Down when we were younger, the one that was extra dry was less dry than the one that was dry. And then
Aye, so
the normal one was drier than both the ones that were called dry.
I'm trying to think of something else in the world that does that, but there is other things like that like they'll say they're more something, but what it actually means is like
It's the exact opposite,
Aye.
like the inverse. Because like, see the amount of times I would drink an extra dry bottle of Merry Down and be like, my throat's so fucking. but it wasn't actually.
it's like it's the same as clothing. It's like extra large is bigger, but extra small is smaller.
Oh,
Aye,
fair
aye.
enough.
So it's like
Extra
that,
small.
aye.
Aye, fair enough. Aye.
It's like a range of fucking different things, and it like it's the sweetness and it's the day how long it was brewed. I was on my YouTube grind with it last night, man, sipping prosecco. But I'll get more into it with the choke of the week. But I do choke for it, man. They see red wine, see the jammy roux red or something.
Aye, jammy red.
It's good.
Kind of syrupy, man. I need to be into a mood. Like, I think because I've been drinking white wine now, I think I need to be in a zone to be drinking red wine.
Aye, red wine's
I used to prefer red wine, but I think
one bottle of red wine in your actual fucking.
Oh man,
Tilted towers, man.
Oh,
your
aye.
tilted
Flush.
titties, man. Like
you
your
ever try
proper.
you ever try like port? See like one port.
Oh
Where
no,
it's like mad sweet. You put like
Mate.
cinnamon that on it.
I
that
don't
port,
like port,
that
man.
port
That's
is
something.
crack.
Because that's like Bucky and that just
That's
sits in the
straight
stomach.
crack.
I like it,
What,
man.
what? So see Bucky, because I don't know with this. Is a tonic wine? Is that to do with how it's made?
It's like
Aye.
mad syrup and that.
Is
It's
it?
like full of sugar.
Aye, because I mean, in fairness, Buckfast is one of the ones. See if it's really cold, it can actually taste quite nice. But see if it hits room temp, man, I'm a bit sick.
Is
It's been a hot minute, man.
Again,
are Buckfast and that fortified wines? Is it tonic wine instead of fortified?
I think it must be tonic instead of fortified. Because what's the things that are fortified wines? Is that not own? Don't know, what does fortified fucking mean when it comes to booze?
I thought fortified wines were like Mad Dog and Buckfast and that, but maybe they'll know.
I think Hingy Mad Dog is a
Is,
fortified
aye.
wine, but
So,
Bucky
well, a
isn't.
wine that's been mixed with something or changed in some way.
But give it a Google, because we're four white guys that can absolutely fuck all the good wines.
I
We're
like
sitting here
it.
talking about
I like Sauvignon Blanc.
Aye, Sauvignon Blanc.
That's quite good. Seco is good, but see a bottle of Seco,
It was
man.
a bottle of Canty Seco, as I said. I will
Oh,
talk
that
about- it was-
Canty's bush.
Oh, if I get like Shannon got it for like £9 and it was fucking peak.
Aye.
So good. The buzz after like 2 glasses of it is unrivaled.
You have one, man, one glass, and then you're like, I'll have another. And then you have another one, you're like, I'll finish that bottle. And then the next thing you can't see.
You do actually finish a bottle of Prosecco but in 2 seconds.
What you saying this fortified means?
So fortified wines are wines that have had a distilled spirits like brandy added to them, increasing their alcohol content and enhancing their sweetness and complexity. This process usually boosts the alcohol to 17 to 20%, and they used it to preserve wine during long sea voyages. That's kind of good.
So it keeps it
So
it
that's
nice.
why I.
So it's port, sherry, Madeira, Marsala, and all those kind of things.
I support
so it's
that
kinda old
fortified
school.
wines.
So
Old
then,
drinks.
in your example, Mad Dog probably has vodka or something in it, or something. Is
Actually,
it-
what is the alcohol in?
16, I think. Is it?
I have to
I
know what
think
it's
Mad Dog's
Mad Dog.
16.
It must be if it's up at that high.
It's like the same as
Aye, aye, it's-
and it defo says fortified wine on the bottom.
Aye.
So it must be like a wine with some shit in it, Mad Dog, man.
I've not had a bottle dug in
What
Yonkers.
were they? That was, we've kind of capped. What were the drinks we would drink when we were like fucking 15?
Frosty.
Frosty.
I
Frosty,
kind
Frosty,
of
man.
missed out, but what actually I say when I was younger, because I wasn't 15, I was 17. Because I think the first time I ever got drunk on it was with you, and I was 17 or 18, and I waited in my dad's toilet.
Oh, fuck, aye.
Getting that way when you're that like, yeah. Sound like a dinosaur there. Like you actually can't breathe, man. You're just hugging the toilet for dear life, man. Hope it cuddles you back. Just waiting for a pal to come in, but you're right. Then you actually just start drinking more. Oh, it's crazy,
I
man.
actually remember, but like going to the shop, what was it, £4, like £4, £4.50, 3 litre of Frosty. Like when I could afford to, like affording legally buy it, it was still that cheap before
Aye.
minimum unit pricing. £4 or something for 3 litre. We would sit and drink for
Aye.
like 6 hours.
Aye, drink the diluting juice in the frosty.
Aye,
shit like
aye.
that.
Cut a cup of Frosty, diluting juice, sit and play FIFA, and after like 2 glasses, you were buzzed as fuck, and by the end, you were actual fucking
Lillard.
It was like
steaming.
Lillard.
89 pence, like bottle of like summer fruits or whatever, or like apple and blackcurrant diluting juice for.
Aye.
Like, I think it
Like
might
the
have been
Happy
the
Shop or stuff.
Euro. Aye, is it
A Euro
Euros?
shopper or whatever. Aye.
I was. The folk know who the YouTuber Tom Scott is, aye. The guy with like the British guy with like the grey kind of like short hair. He stopped doing YouTube now, but he would do like, the day I'm at the world's fastest train, or the day I'm at a factory that's been like, use wow, Ken. He's got like
Aye.
millions
The
of
name rings a
subscribers.
bell, aye.
Anyway, He's got a podcast and I've been listening to it, and basically it's called Lateral, and he gets 3 guests on and they'll all ask each other like they're like trivia questions, but they're weird as fuck. So it'll be a thing for history and they need to work out why it happened. For example, like there's a drink you make and you use vodka, clear spirit, coffee and a coin, and they'll ask that's their question, like why is it they use the coin in that? And I can't even, it's called Cafe Punch, I think, and it's like a Swedish drink, right? You put the coin in the bottom of a mug, pour the coffee in until you can't see the coin anymore, and then you pour the vodka in so until you can see the coin slightly, and that's the drink. That's how they work out how much
the
vodka to put in.
measure. That's crack.
So you put enough coffee in so that you can't see the coin. That's how you know you've put enough coffee in. And then once you pour the vodka in, as soon as you can start seeing the coin, that's you've put enough vodka in. So that must be an awful measure of fucking coffee, man, and vodka.
What kind of coin? But we talking just like a pound coin
Just
flung
like
in a mug.
Just like a coin flung in a mug, aye.
We copper.
But
So-
would that no like then they drink it?
Aye.
Nah, in fairness, like the stuff I've licked worse.
I've licked worse as well.
No, but like
It's only going to be in there for like 2 seconds anyway. I think it's enough to like kill you or that.
alright.
That podcast, but for anybody out there that chokes, is awful worth listening, because see the shit you fucking learn. There's one where somebody asked a question where it was like 2 towns in Germany, and it was like Catherine travelled from this town to this town, which is 250 miles away, but her journey took her 5,000 miles. Why? And they're sitting there trying to work out the fucking answer to this question. They're like, what the fuck, this doesn't make any sense. Why would you do 5,000 miles instead of just doing 250? And it turns out it's not an actual person called Katrine. It was a big fucking... It was like a big bit of like military equipment or a machine that couldn't be drove down a road or flown. So they had to take it out one side of Germany and back in the air.
So like, aye, that's my first thing. It was, did it go that
Yeah,
way
well,
around
yeah,
there?
around
Like,
closer.
So no, it like went like out Germany up the top and in through the bottom. Mental, innit? Okay, he's one more for free.
Aye, when you go.
In the 1930s, right, the BBC played, put on the radio, a darts game with a championship darts player, right?
was there darts then?
But they left a big gap in between him hitting his shots. And so that's one of the questions, like, why was there long bits of silence? And it turns out that they done that so you could play the world champions darts player at home. So they gave you a chance to fling your darts, hit it and play against him at home. It was like interactive in the
That's
1930s.
class,
That's
Mental.
crazy, man.
So if that kind of shit tickles your brain, I'm telling you, Lateral podcast, Tom
That's
Scott,
quite good.
there's thousands
That's
of
quite
them.
cool,
Anyway,
man.
so I just brought that up because that booze, because I was like, that sounds weird as, like, that much coffee and that much vodka, that
Aye,
sends
that
you
is
fucking
madness.
all over the place.
I didn't even know darts was about then. That's crazy.
Aye, I wonder how old darts actually is.
Aye, the board must be like different in that.
Oh, the board
'Cause the
would have been
board's like quite
fucked
a
in.
recent thing. Like the way they've like numbered it and all that.
Aye, because even when Phil Taylor was playing, there was a tournament you could play where it was quad points, I think. There was like double, treble and quad.
Oh, really?
That's
Aye.
fucked.
That's mad.
So I don't know what the boards were like in the 1930s. I also couldn't tell you when darts was started. Fuck knows.
Must have been no long before that. Look, but the
Fucking
actual,
love
like,
darts,
the
man.
actual darts federation or whatever must have been about maybe since then.
Aye.
But actual the sport of darts, like
The guy,
the game
the
of
champion
darts,
at the time was called like
must be quite old.
F.H. Morrison or something. But I thought that was cool. I was like, that's off interesting that like they made those silences so that you could play the
Aye.
display at him, so like you could ken if you would bet
Aye,
or not.
100 years ago. That's cracking, innit, man?
It'd be fucking a bit weird if you could beat him. Do you know
Aye.
that way? Like, see
Oh,
if you were telling cunts I played the world champion of darts.
I played him on the
Did
radio.
you meet him? No, it was on the radio and I fucking bet him, obviously. Is
But-
that alright, did you?
Aye, alright, pal.
Brilliant.
Just
Aye.
didn't do cool shit like that anymore.
No.
That would be well hingy. I'd be like interested in that. Like, obviously I don't know how many cunts Jink took part in that. Like done it at him.
I mean, what else
did
was
it
it?
have
In
How
the
many folk
30s,
had
man.
like tellies and that, man? Radios, I suppose.
radios in the 1930s?
What would the folk actually done with their lives but other than go to work and come home?
That was life. Kinda like I think they would have leisure, like as
Isn't
in
they tellies in the 30s, when they know? When they, when they,
no.
yeah.
They like guy because they didn't start getting into folks' houses until what, like. Well, I don't really know.
70s?
Well, I don't
No,
know.
wait,
Because
60s?
in Back to the Future, that's them just getting a colour TV. I think when he goes back, and he goes back to the 50s.
55.
Okay.
So maybe the 40s tellies about it.
Was there not like a link to like the Queen's coronation or something? Like folks have to get TVs to watch that. Is that not a thing?
Aye, might
That
be
would have
right.
been, when the fuck was that? Like early 50s?
Imagine you didn't have a telly then now.
Aye.
You'd
Fuck,
be
man.
absolutely fucked.
You'd
Like,
get
even if you didn't
hunters
have
done. You get so much done.
Think of the productivity.
I live screens never existed, man. Wow, let's not get into that again.
But like, folk must have actually just watched the sun go up and down, man, for a laugh.
Definitely, they would have went out and done things like went to the local fucking, I don't know what it was about.
Go to the dancing.
There would have been stuff like shindigs and that, like
Shindigs.
places you could have went.
It was probably just fucking walking, to be honest, because I think my grandpa used to say that he used to like walk to his work, fake moors into like the centre of Killie, and then just walk back, and then he would just go to his bed, and then wake
And then
up,
you just go again.
and then wake
Can
up,
be a spoiled, privileged
Yeah.
walk
dicks,
back
man.
to his work, and then work
Oh,
for
yeah,
like
I
10
dare
man.
hours.
say that would have been because like there would have been no telly, radio maybe. It would have been shite the
You'd
radio
have to
anyway.
download it to have a car.
Aye, I think like it would have just been like maybe weekends you would have went because I think cunts. The fact we're all here, cunts were fucking right. So like that was happening.
That's probably all you had to do.
Right.
Aye.
Got to work and
Our gran
fucking.
said that to her wee sister once, I'm sure. She said, "Oh, how is it you've got like 7 Waynes?" And she's like, "What else was it today back then, Shannon?" And this was like, I don't know, in the 70s, so fuck knows what the ferries were like, man.
Aye, they would have just, and that was their whole thing, like fucking actual breeding army, and then get them to plough the fields and that.
It was all about spreading your name, man.
Aye, it was all about spreading the seed because see at our core, that is all there is. That's
I
what
think
that is all
I
there
think
is.
in my
to-
family history I've got ploughman. I think somebody in my dad's side of the family sort of went back to see, oh look, I wonder. I think it's actually you can go to the K Park and they've got like the records. And you can sort of- normally on folks' birth certificates, the main thing is occupation, like name, date of birth, and their mum and dad's occupation. I'm pretty sure on my dad's side of the family, it's like it hits a point where it's like every single cunt and their father was like ploughman.
Aye.
Ploughing them hills.
They were
I guess that was like the main fuck it. See, well,
Aye, about here. Like,
when was the Industrial Revolution? Like the 1890s or something?
Aye,
1860s or
something like
something.
Was it a wee bit before that as well? Like, so there would have been like factories and shit, but if you stayed where we stay, like it would have probably just been fucking ploughing fields and shit.
Just ploughing or mining.
Aye, mining, aye, that was it,
mining.
man,
Doing
aye.
the mines, man.
Oh, you're right, you're all. See you down
Off
there.
you pop,
Aye.
you're great for the tight squeezies, son.
Hopefully make
Stop
it the
fucking
30.
reading books. Get the fuck down those mines.
Aye.
I still call my face, my work the coal face. Sorry.
Aye, because well,
Gone down the coal
that's
face.
their thing. Because mine, like education, wasn't for everybody. Like,
No.
like that's a relatively
Was a
recent
privilege,
thing.
wasn't
Aye, they kind of nipped in the bud if you weren't up for it, man.
Aye,
kinda
aye, they were like,
get
right,
them.
fucking get fucked, man. Like you're no, you're not going to offer anything to the world, really.
Fries in the bag.
Put the fries in the bag. Fucking get
You're
down the
just in
fucking
there
mine.
and
Aye.
follow the system.
But that definitely, but like you would find your purpose in that. Like, see, at least then, right? It would have been like, do you know what? Like, the world is a big, bad, scary place, and at least I get to go somewhere that's like kind of alright, and they give me something for my time, so that's like gives me worth. Whereas now it's like I actually could not give a fuck about working. Like I need to.
Aye, a lot of folk don't want to work now, innit,
But
man?
like to what end, man? Especially also because back you didn't get unemployed cunts back then. It was fucking a bit rat race. No, even rat racy. It was like there would be cunts that were unemployed, but not the way it is now. Like,
Aye, like you were either homeless, unemployed, sleeping in a bin, or you were like actual working your arse to the fucking.
aye,
like,
aye.
But if some cunt in the 30s was like, oh mate, I've got social anxiety, I can't talk to other human beings and blah.
Aye, you'd
Get to fuck,
aye,
get
you
back
get a
down
slap.
that mine. I don't care if you're 13. Get in that.
Do you know what's well, like the pubs? I bet were the busiest fucking joints, man.
Oh,
Like,
aye,
the pubs
aye,
were
must
insane.
have
But
been.
that's where like that social anxiety thing probably didn't exist because everyone was just chatting and you knew everybody, so
There's
you were
no
like sound
excuse.
everybody.
I think social anxieties came from technology, man. 100%.
It's
Where else it
definitely
gonna
played
come
a
from,
bit,
man?
innit?
No, I think it's always kind of been there. There is folk that just naturally are anxious people, but technology has gave us an excuse not to communicate with other people.
Aye, I'm almost certain social media and that must have fucking hindered it.
It's definitely wrecked something in our brains where back, see, the part of the thing as well back then, say 1930s as well, your community was what meant most to you. So the cunts that you drank with, your family, your pals' families, all the neighbours, you all looked after each other, you raised all the wains together.
Mm-hmm.
There was no separation really between cunts. Obviously there was the royal cunts, and then there would have been the different classes of folk, but see for working class folk, they would all been we're basically a big huge fucking team and we've just got to try and get through this.
Well, another thing would have been 20 years before that was the First World War, which wiped out all the working class families, all the men.
Aye, that's true.
Wiped out every cunt. So, and then they were at the prospect of another war, so they were probably fuck man.
Aye, that must have been a weird fucking.
Oh man,
I imagine being paid a bit both of them. Imagine you're like a young boy or a young lassie or something, couldn't go to war, and then the next one you get called up. You'd be like, fucking hell, man.
all survived, babe.
All survived,
Aye, that's kind of cracked.
You'd actually come back and be like, nobody can stop me.
You'd be broke, man.
Nobody can stop me except PTSD.
There would have been cunts too young for the First World War to get called up, but then too old for the second one, man.
Aye,
That's
they would
the
have probably
peak
been
age,
hanging.
man.
Aye, there would have been a selection of cunts that hanged. I wouldn't, because it's hard to put yourself in the headspace because I've always been see if it happened now, I'd 100% just fucking no go to the call, man. They could hunt my ass, I'd go to the woods, whatever, right? Pure deserter, right? But then I've since came to appreciate a wee bit more about British history, I suppose. Just enough that I'm you know what, actually see if it was the Nazis are coming, they've took it in Europe, we need to fight this.
Time to go.
I'm sorry, but it might have just been I'm gone. Send me to the front. Fuck it. I need to fight for my country.
If the right person came up and were like, these folk are going to kill your family, you'd be like, where's the nearest AK, man? Get it in my hands. I'll go.
Because it's easy for us in the modern day when fucking our cunts have fought our battles to fucking say that's just stupid, why would they go and do that? But then it's see if you watch Churchill's speech about fucking we'll fight in the fucking beaches, we'll fight this, we'll fight that,
you'd be hyped.
and you're like, man, do you know what, see if I heard that on the radio and I knew the Nazis were their ultimate goal was to come and take the UK, I might just
That's
need to
probably
go.
one thing that actually social media and interconnectivity's actually helped with is you're actually now realising alright, maybe the bad guys we thought were the bad guys were actually kind of doing just what they were getting told. You know what I mean? See, back in the 30s, all you were hearing was the Nazis and the Germans, and you would just automatically assume, right, everybody that's German has to go.
Aye.
See, now that there's hundreds of interconnectivity, it would be so. I think it'd be quite hard unless an actual country was at your doorstep, because folk would be like, it's obvious that it's the folk in power that are the issue. So you'd be like,
It's
one
a
good
lot
thing
more
about social media.
transparent. See, Russia are dicks, right? That's not a fucking thingy, right? But we know that all Russians are the dicks,
No.
and there's a lot of folk in Russia that hate what's happening, but they can't do anything about it. So we wouldn't go and I wouldn't want to just go and kill random Russians that are just doing what they're told because their family's getting gulagged. That's no, so that kind of changes it. So now a modern war probably will never, but I don't know, man. It's weird.
Don't get it for Fred's up in here, man. Because I've seen that film and I don't want that to happen.
I think for everybody to unilaterally come together and say right, we're all just got to war, it would need to be a nuke getting dropped, I think. And but then would there be anybody left to go and fight in the fucking war, man? Probably no. It's the great equaliser, fucking a nuke.
Man,
We've seen that, Fred, and I'm not wanting it hanging off me, man. Must get hanging off me.
No, they've been egging back, man.
That's it. The world back to stick. What is it? World War 3. We fought with stick 4, not 3.
If there is another World War, the one after that, we fought with sticks and stones.
It's fucking right, man.
Who said that? Was
Einstein.
Oppenheimer? Well, it was Einstein. I thought it was somebody in that fucking.
In that realm. What was I thinking about? Was Einstein? What was? Oh,
a shagger. Aye.
But was Einstein alive to see the moon landing? No.
69. Was it 69?
Because I was thinking about that because obviously all his theories and all that played a huge part in them being able to build spacecraft and that. But like, did he die no kenning that we actually made it to space? Because that's a bit of a shame.
Well, when did
I don't know when Einstein
I
died.
thought he maybe died in the 50s or 60s, but there is colour.
Do I guess?
Let me think, right. I'm sure he got asked to be. Did Einstein not get asked to be the fucking king of Israel or something? I actually think.
No, I'm sure that's a thing.
Aye, no, he did. They came to.
It's a weird quiz fact, isn't it? Or
That's
something.
crazy, man.
What?
Aye.
See, my man. No, maybe I'm not saying R. Kelly, but my mind is telling. Something in me's telling me that he wasn't alive to see the moon landings, but then there's an air bit of me going, no, I think he was kicking.
70s, like 69. Did they make it to the 70s? I don't think he did.
Right, I'm saying he was alive. That's my vote. What's your vote?
I'm thinking they maybe just missed it by like 2 years.
Aye, me too. I'm gonna say like
1955.
Oh, he was fucking well,
man. Well did.
Aye, well
He
did,
was
man.
off
He
a
was
dust,
off.
man.
That's a shame.
He was.
Do you know who it is? I think I'm getting mixed up with Picasso, because
Aye,
Picasso
'cause
was
he-
didn't die that long ago.
Picasso's like the 80s or something, I think, or the 70s.
Aye, fuck.
Aye.
70s, I think.
Aye, because I think that's one of the ones where we get Picasso mixed up with like because when was Van Gogh?
But 100 years
Late-
before, I
Aye,
think.
I think
1800s.
we put like in our brains because we on the art literature cunts, like no just us, but folk in
Aye.
general. We couple they two together and think they must have been kicking at the same time. But Picasso is actual modern art. Like,
Aye, go on YouTube, you'll see him painting things, man. It's crack it.
Well, that's that. Have you
But there's
seen?
no, like I'm saying, like, it's modern enough that you've not got videos of Van Gogh painting things.
No.
Have you seen that film, The Mr. Picasso? Where
I've
it's
not
like
saw- I've saw
the
clips,
camera's
yeah.
on the other side of the canvas, like so it's reversed, and you just see him like painting, and
Oh,
it's the way he
really?
like walks around the painting. So he does like the four corners, and he does like mad strokes in the middle. Just builds an insane painting. You're like,
Some of
fuck.
his paintings are crack it, man.
Wow.
They
Do you know
make you feel so
Henry George
strange.
Clouseau, I think.
That Picasso thing, I went doing a bit of a hole not that long ago with like time things that you don't.
you don't realise stuff that was like
Aye.
how close things were, or how far, or how distant.
Like
whatever.
I know it was started as like a card game, right? But Nintendo was started before the Eiffel Tower was finished being built. I think it's the same year. Obviously, it started off as a card game, so it's no like Nintendo as in Mario was running about.
Aye, but still, like the foundations for that
Aye, the
were already
company.
built.
I think it's 1889 or something. And then that one that everybody always says about fucking Cleopatra. Aye, that one's.
What is that one again?
She lived closer to the moon landings than she did the pyramids getting built.
Aye, which is so fucked. But see, once you start going back and like, see the things with dinosaurs. Like, there's certain dinosaurs that we just group together that live closer to us than they did to our dinosaurs. Like,
Aye.
I don't. It's no Stegosaurus and T Rex, but like there's like lots of dinosaurs that are like 100 million year apart. Like they're closer to us than they were to their dinosaurs.
Aye.
Like the amount of time dinosaurs roamed the earth is insane.
We finally get into dinosaurs, man.
Like it's like 250 million years.
Oh,
like
it's
we've
crazy,
been
man.
here for a fucking like no that long.
I think-
Like
What was the one I said to you last week about this? Oh fuck! It's Abraham Lincoln was still alive when there was still folk that were like practicing being like samurais, and also when there was fax machines. So
aye,
a samurai for Japan could have sent a fax to Abraham Lincoln. And for some reason, you split them all up. You would think samurai,
Aye.
then Abe Lincoln, then fax machine, probably.
it's defo like that. That's the thing with like time's weird like that. I think it's got worse now because like obviously tech seems to have stagnated slightly in the past like 10 years. But see if you were like the start of the 90s to like the 2000 to the 2010s, like that 20-year man, because it just went haywire, man. House phones to like mobile phones to iPads to fucking like AI to headsets to
not much
fucking.
has really changed in the last like 10 years, innit?
What was the one I told you? Rosa Parks was still alive when Shrek get released, so she could have watched Shrek.
That's mental.
There's that other thing, but it's like the Wild West, like cowboys and Indians and that was like just a decade. Like it was like 10 years, but then there's been like an entire genre of film made.
Aye,
I
where-
think it was
where
like
you would
12
feel it
years,
must be.
yeah.
Because
You'd think I'd be like 150 years of how much like stories and shit came into it.
Aye, that
But-
is interesting.
But it was like a span of like not even 10 years.
That's
Fuck
crazy.
me, man. Try and get her ones, but I can't really remember. There's definitely ones about cars and shit like that. Like folks still being alive when there's cars. There is one, and I'm forgetting kind of what it is, but there was a president in like I want to say 1700s that still got like it's the 1800s that still got a grandchild alive the day. Maybe he only died a year or two ago, but it's something like his papa was like the president either before or after Abe Lincoln, and it's just because they both his papa and his dad both waited till they were a certain
age to have
I
a
think
win.
it might have been like 70 or 80, so it's like 160 years later.
Like they span. Because like 3 generations could probably span nearly 200 years.
That's crazy, man.
So
Which at least for men, like
I'll need to Google what president that was to find out just to actually see. But how fucked is that?
like that is correct, man.
It's the president's called John Tyler. Let me just see when he was kicking. So he was the 10th president of the United States from 1841 to 1845, and his grandchild is still alive, the new 96-year-old.
That is.
Can a 96-year-old guy can't be somebody's grandchild, man? That just doesn't make sense, does it? You're like, my papa. You're like, you're a papa. You're a papa's papa. I'm 96. What?
That is actual fucked.
So he was president 180 years ago. So there's a cunt alive whose papa was president 180 years ago. What? Wait, is that right? Am I getting that
I
right?
suppose if the cunt's nearly 100 years old.
Do you think that would have been his entire life story? Just like, I see my papa. Like in a pub,
But I
just
suppose
see
it
my
would,
papa.
it would have been different. See, like when he was like young, so like say like the 1930s, and he's like, oh, like my papa like 70 years ago was that guy. He was the president.
That's so cracked,
but then
man.
he's got old, so then it's like fuck. Like
Imagine being 100-year-old, man.
He's so that means his papa that was the president was born in 1790.
so that 210-year thing that I was talking about is right.
I've
Like,
got a question for you. Is any of us making it to 2100?
Jesus
No.
Christ, no, I mean, fuck, man.
I don't think so.
But did they not say that the person that would go on to live the
He's been
longest
bo-
that would go to 21 has
he's
already
been
been
bo-
born?
they will have.
We won't, because we've kind of fucked. We like fags too much, but
I'm already 28. Like I'm no. I like.
you get 70 years left, don't you?
If I was born the now, maybe. Like, in fact, I would probably be fine if I was born the now. But no,
Getting 21 on her.
it would be like it's a nice. But I don't know, man. You don't. It's weird getting into that fucking. Would you even want to be 100? Like. Do you know what I mean? Like, because like I don't really know if that's what I'm after.
Don't make me bring up my fucking 5th year persuasive essay in higher English. Entitled "Who Wants to Live Forever" after the Queen's hit song, and it was an argument against. I found like all these articles about folk like scientists trying to like discover ways to like make us live longer and longer, or immortal. But like even just to the point of like 200, and I went deep into it, man, about like how it would like fuck the world and like like aging populations would be fucked. Everybody would end up a fucking pensioner. Nobody would be able to do anything. There's no Wayne's been born because cunts are fucking infertile, shit like that.
Is that know what's happening in Italy, though? Everyone's like
I think
too
it's
old.
happening quite a lot.
It's
Like,
happening in Japan and Korea and all that.
I was going to
Asian
say I was
countries.
going to say Bulgaria, but I think it's actually Japan or Korea. I was thinking, I don't know how I get the two mixed up, but
We've got too many old folk.
so it's like the population
They're not
age
having
keeps going
Folk are
up and
living
up.
longer and having less wains, so the overall population is just getting older and older. To the point, I think in Japan, like the average age might be like 50 or 60.
It's something insane like that.
Like across the board, because they're barely having any fucking wains. I don't know.
Savage in
You'd need to
Scotland, man.
fact check me on that, but I know it's definitely getting high.
6 months.
I think there's some like Japan has like the highest concentration of virgins in the world or something like that. It's something insane like that.
Kenny, a Wisney rang. Turns out I do ken things, and I
Bulgaria.
shouldn't go against
The
myself.
Bulgaria thing.
Bulgaria is one of the highest percentages of older adults in the world. 20% of its population are 65 or 65 and older.
A fifth of them.
And I watched them doing interviews with folk, and I think it's like a lot of like the young student folk are like all just moving to their countries and no living and meeting like partners in their countries, so they're not coming back and living in Bulgaria.
Well, there's a woman I work that does a night shift, Jade. Shout out Jade. But her father is like moved there to Bulgaria because you can buy property there for cheap. So a lot of folk will work here and then move back out of Bulgaria.
Well, that'll be wide because they're wanting young families to move out of Bulgaria.
Because I think her sister goes there sometimes. They're planning on
they
moving there as
starting,
well.
I don't know if it was Japan. I don't know. I think it was a real thing, but they were starting breeding visas.
I did see that, but I don't know. Was it actually like? How did you sign up? I
don't
seen
know.
the tweets
I don't
and all
know if
that.
it was
And I
for,
wasn't
like-
sure.
I think it was Japan.
I think it was like a genuine thing. I don't know the stipulations. I never really looked in. I just saw it and I was like,
do you know what it is? They were giving out bursaries if you went and found a partner and got married. They'd pay for the entire wedding, and then they'd give you more money on top if you had wings. That's what it was. It was a super recent thing.
I remember seeing it and I was like, breeding visas makes it sound a bit fucking.
Here it sounds better than universal credit, man. If you want to get
Aye, if there's India there wanting something to do,
Aye.
that'd be a story, man.
That would be interesting, but that's you fucking go out there and breed a bit, man.
Aye, it's meant to be a bit mad. But I don't think Bulgaria is like, I don't know enough, but I don't think it's like a bad place. Is it a bad
No,
place?
that's
I think that was Japan.
Japan.
I mean,
Oh, that's Japan.
I mean, if you're wanting folk out there to get and breed in Bulgaria, man, why not?
Oh, wait, so they're doing the breeding visas in Japan? Oh, aye, I thought, sorry, that's
So you can go to Japan.
Yum 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 yum.
Check.
Checking the mic, 1 2 1 2.
Check.
How we feeling? Let's party. Right, so we're back. Apologies, we had some technical difficulties just there. We were talking about breeding visas, but the battery ran out in the camera. So here we are. We're back. This is the choke section. The we don't really have a word for it now because it's weird. It's still just chokes, I suppose. The hybrid, yeah, the choke breed. So I think this time, because we've started McKev twice in a row, we'll start with Bradley's normal OG choke of the week. Let's hear it, Bradley.
My choke of the week is Red Bull.
I feel
Do you know why?
Rules have got worse our time, by the way.
Do you know why? But because it's no something like this week specifically. I've drank a lot of Red Bull, and I've been like, I want one every day, and that's been my choke of the week.
It's your true choke of the
Aye,
week.
my true
no,
choke of the
aye.
week. Aye,
Caffeine addiction.
Aye, we're getting there.
We're getting there, aye.
We're getting there. You have a coffee, then a Red Bull, then maybe get an air one. You're not getting a wee Red Bull, you're getting a big fat one because it's cheaper. And Ken, if you have one of their fat ones, you're no sleeping. I just enjoy the taste, and it's good with a meal deal. I usually have a meal deal for my lunch. So
Aye, see with the meal deal, you might as well get this
you
fat
might as
can.
well get the one the size of your leg. Like,
Aye, that big, it's Kim, it's fucked. Just a side point, the big can of Red Bull feels huge, but it's weirder than a can of Monster.
Oh, aye.
that's mad.
It's 473 millilitres.
What's a can? 500?
500.
Do like a can of Monster tea. It's pretty good. But Red Bull, aye, there's just something about it. Nothing else kind of scratches it. I think that guy you were speaking
That
about.
Rory Sutherland.
Rory Sutherland, aye, he's speaking about how they chose to make it kind of taste bad so that folk had a specific like
A feeling like a
feeling
response
like
to it.
aye.
Aye.
Which is good marketing for them.
And
And their energy drink kind of slaps the same way a Red Bull
The
does. It just
Red
doesn't.
Bull also just attached their name to everything extreme in the world, like any extreme
Aye.
extreme
Their
sports and all
marketing
that.
is unreal.
Aye, it's so good. Like see when you think of Red Bull, you genuinely do kind of think of like I don't know if the word's cool,
Aye.
but
But I think it's a bit like
aye, it's like there's a bit of something to it. It's like
Aye.
the monster. What's that film where it's the Toros monster?
aroma.
Aye, role models and the fucking the cunt dressed up as the fucking the
Get your
Minotaur.
can of Minotaur.
Aye.
And he's pissing green.
It's like,
Brilliant, man.
How
What a film, man.
Sean William Scott wants, like they want that you to perceive it in that film as what Red Bull's like in real life,
Aye.
and then they've
As-
got Fitbit teams and shit. Like, are their names attached to Fitbit teams anyway?
They've literally got the best, or I don't know if it is anymore, but the best F1 team is Red Bull. Do you know what I mean?
They've got
They
all
do all the
the
extreme fucking
sports.
all the
BMX.
cunts jumping out of planes, BMX, fucking motorsports, fucking like they're just.
Do they do
they're everywhere.
the? Do they sponsor the soapbox derby? No,
They do.
they're fucked.
They
man.
sponsor the X Games and that as well.
Aye, they're cooked.
Aye, they're everywhere. And it's like you like are off your feet.
I mean,
It's Red Bull, man.
Red Bull gives you way.
Red Bull used to do that like old school like epic compilation, like humans are awesome compilations on YouTube. Do you remember them?
Parkour videos
Aye,
and
those
folk
guys did,
jumping
like-
off bridges and that.
Aye, like front flips and bikes over like mountains and all that.
Aye.
Class.
That's crazy. It's
Red Bull.
crazy that's
like
like.
dubstep soundtracks, man. Unreal.
That's it. See, when it comes to Red Bull, you actually do want to talk about the stuff surrounding it rather than like fucking. But then
The taste is the last thing.
see them into like cunts because obviously I make videos now. Fucking be drinking cans of Monster and it like cunts are so precious about their fucking Red Bull. Like that's like it's.
Aye.
They're like, why the fuck would you drink it and bought Red Bull? And it's like, well.
I'm sure Lauren's dad's like, I think he has like 4 a day, man.
Aye, I'm like, I'm a
Wow.
human with
Aye.
taste buds. Like, I like to fucking experience. Well, I don't. I like what I like, but I don't really like new experiences.
That's
or
why
that
the
much.
flavoured ones are quite
Aye,
good.
the blue one, man.
Some of them are quite good.
crazy.
though. I like
Aye.
the OG taste.
And
but
they only, that's like a relatively new
Aye.
thing, like them branching into like, because it used to just be Red Bull, like it was just Red Bull, and then
Aye.
everything else surrounding it, all the adverts, all that stuff they're attached to it. But now they're genuinely trying to like create. I think it's because Monster make like fucking 40 different cans of Monster, and they're like, do you know what? Some of these actually get really popular. Like, cunts see that the white Monster, cunts love it. It's like attached to gym culture.
aye, sugar free
But
as well.
see, I've done a video, one of my videos that went kind of popular, and I was drinking a sugar-free Red Bull, like the
Aye, the light blue thing,
the
aye.
light blue Red Bull, and see them into cunts, like, and I mean hundreds of people telling me off for drinking a sugar-free Red Bull, like they were raging, like so raging. It was meant like cause the video got hundreds of thousands of views with like fucking 1,000 comments, and I swear a large chunk of them were just can't sit like calling me a gimp basically.
You will not get the wings if it's not
Do
got sugar
you know
in it.
you made that video about drinking like 4 cans of Monster a day, and then like hundreds of folk were like trying to one up you and all that. They're like, aye, that's
That's
fuck up.
child's
Aye.
I drink about 4 before 10, mate.
It was
not
like
good.
literally a fucking. It was like a skit. It wasn't even real. I don't drink because the song I say I drink 3 cans a day. I don't because my heart couldn't take it, and cunts are like light work, man. I'm at least 12. I used to go on 20.
Do you know
And
what
you're like,
that, the whole like culture around Red Bull does remind me a wee bit of that stuff we were talking about with the Dubai chocolate. I don't drink it a lot, right, but I do love the flavoured ones, and I do like it, but folk are so weird with it,
Aye,
man.
but Red Bull-
It's
aye.
really
I no drink anything else
Like,
but the £2
see
a
if
can
I-
one.
if I
Aye.
step back and
I'll
put,
still
like,
drink a can of merge. Do you know what I mean? I'm no fussy.
But I even mean like energy drinks full stop has become like a weird thing. See, if you step back and think about it philosophically, you're like, this is weird. There's like an actual culture around it.
aye, there is. Aye,
And folk will like be annoyed, but like, it's almost like became like alcohol, where it's like, you don't
Aye.
drink 2 Red Bulls a day. How the fuck do you live?
Aye.
I'm like, I don't know.
Aye, no,
so
I
all
think
you
you're
drink
right.
water. You think you
I think-
think you're better than me? So you drink water?
I think
No,
that's when
what
like
fucking
a product is successful once it becomes like a culture thing where cunts
Aye.
have all these super strong opinions about this individual, and you're like, see, at the end of the day, it's just piss water, man. Like it's piss water that makes you feel a bit buzzed. Like it's fine, cool. It's too care like they've tried to obviously steal the market off coffee.
Aye.
And they've fun that right, maybe we can take 10% of the caffeine market because cunts still love coffee. And making coffee in your house is so much easier. No cunt wants that. What's the shite that the gaming folk try and fucking sell?
G Fuel.
G Fuel. Nobody. I'm no fucking sitting a big tub of protein powder, G Fuel, and making an energy drink every morning. Fuck up. I'm not doing that because it's no coffee. Like if I wanted it, I would do it with coffee. If I get an energy drink, the reason I buy it is because the can's cold, it's out the fridge,
Aye.
and I just want that
Aye.
like the sweet hot buzz. That's what I want.
It's like the same as buying a packet of fags, isn't it?
Aye.
Or
Or
a
a packet
vape.
of Chris.
Aye,
Alpaca
because you
Chris, aye.
could see if you like you're somebody that smokes, you could just keep a fucking 100-gram fucking tub of
Aye,
baccy
make a
in the
rollie.
kitchen and make a rollie. But I just want a fag. Like that's why I. So like fuck G Fuel anyway. Unless she's want to sponsor us. Anyway, Red Bull.
Aye, Red Bull.
Aye.
Do you get a favourite? This isn't. It's mere caffeine, energy drink related. Favourite can of Monster and/or energy drink?
It's got to be. It's just the OG Monster for
Mango
me.
Loco probably is mine. Don't
Mango
know if that's
Loco's
kind of
good,
basic
but
Mango
bitchy,
Loco's
but
really good,
Sometimes you
man.
get bits in the Mango Loco. I don't like that, but you ever had that?
I've
There's like wee bits of the
experienced
bone.
that.
I'm
where
alright with the bits.
It makes
I
like
like
my
bits
mouth
and
get a bit
smoothies.
weird sometimes, as if there's like a texture within the liquid that I
Aye,
do.
'cause I feel
That's
like
why I stopped drinking
A
it.
can of Monster shouldn't have bits in it. Like
No.
I'm fine with bits in like regular drinks and that, but no.
Aye. I know what you mean.
I used to choke for the purple Rockstar when I was at school, man.
Aye, the guava
Rockstar,
one.
man.
That's
Aye.
actual crap.
That-
That blue one, man. Wow.
That blue Red Bull, the Juneberry one,
the
is kind of elite.
Juneberry Red Bull is elite. Like it's so good.
I'll shout out the spiced peach one because remember that I tried all of them. I shout out the spiced peach one because that kind of tastes like, remember appetizer for school?
Aye.
Green bottle. It was like, unreal. You get it in cans actually.
You get it in the wee 250ml
That
cans.
was a weird thing I done where I just tried all the flavours, but that was really weird actually. I don't know why I done that.
I know.
Because
Just
I didn't drink energy juice, and it was like, do you know when I was getting into the shops, and it could go to the point where I had maybe drank about half the colours available, and I was like, why would I know? Try and
no,
just
you need
finish
to
these
at that
colours.
point,
Like,
aye.
You're out there trying to finish the Red Bull album, man.
Aye,
and I done it, and I
definitely.
tried the new one and all white peach, so.
Do you know what I tried one day at work? Because so in my work, the Monster goes between being £2.85 for a can of Monster and
Wow.
£1.60.
Aye.
So it jumps between the two.
Used to be about 99 pence a can, man.
I always get 20% discount, so I sometimes will still just pay the full price, and or I'll buy. They've got a meal deal now, £3.60 piece, and a taco snack and a can of Monster.
Wow.
Because I don't really buy the crisp, and I get it for £3.60. It's £4.50 without the discount. Anyway, right, I didn't have my discount card, so I was like, and I'm kind of skint, and I was like, right, £2.85. I'm not paying that for a can of Monster. I get Relentless Origin. So the OG Relentless flavour.
Relentless.
And I was like, oh, like, aye, like that. This will be alright. It'll be like OG Monster. Like it would just, and I was drinking it, and it was actually making me feel sick. Like I was in the car and I was
Feel
drinking.
watery. Tastes watery.
It almost had like a lemonade vibe, but it made me feel sick. Like I didn't like it at all. So I went back in and got a Vimto Energy, because their eye
I've
was
tried them, I
their eye
know,
was
right,
like
man.
their eye was like £1 on special, and they're 500 mils, and they just taste like Vimto.
Vimto's good.
Is
So
there no Rubicon Raw? Is that energy juice?
aye, it's good enough.
Rubicon. See
Aye.
that mango Rubicon, man.
Aye,
Wow.
aye, the Rubicon's
Raw,
good. Aye, the
raw.
raw one.
It's
In fact,
raw.
there's apple and is it apple and pomegranate or something? Don't know. They've got a couple of flavours and they're all quite good. They taste more like juice. So they've got a more juice. Like, see if you don't want to feel like too. Ugh.
I didn't drink them too much, but see all the fucking White Spark Blue Bear. What was it, Blue Bear? What was the one with the paw? It was something like that, but
Aye, Blue Bear.
Was it Blue Bear?
Aye, Blue Bear. Aye.
Blue Spark,
That's the
White
Spark
Lightning.
one.
No, White Lightning. That's the fucking booze, but
Aye, but all the knockoff Red Bulls.
the Euro Shopper one.
Aye, that's, and then you
What,
get
LSV,
Boost,
man?
LSV.
Emerge.
Boost is
No, man,
crazy.
Boost is crack.
I used to buy, and I don't know why I would do it. I'd buy the litre bottle of Boost.
Boost
Aye.
is petrol.
Aye,
not
and
Boost.
you would buy the litre and you would drink it throughout the day, and it wouldn't run out because you're like, fuck, that's like 4 Red Bulls for like 80 pence.
I mind folk used to make turbo wine, Buckfast. You'd drink the neck of the Buckfast and then put Boost in.
Aye.
And wow, you wouldn't sleep for 2 days, man.
That's great,
You'd
man.
get
'cause
some-
that's what
some-
they get
some
caffeine
buzz,
in it.
but
That's
aye,
like
you
putting
are
Boost
steaming.
in a dragon soup.
Aye. See if you gave an Ed a turbo wine, man. Good luck to your village spa, man. Honestly, it's getting mauled.
That's crazy.
Aye.
But all the fucking the energy drinks, they're a funny. It's a funny subculture of fucking shit, man. And cunts are proper. And then the energy drinks used to be attached to different groups as well. Like it was
golf.
golf.
Used to be
Aye.
gold.
Golfs would drink like Monster, like black Monster, but then now it's gym girlies that drink
aye.
white Monster.
Aye.
Like that's who drink. And then like they'll definitely be like certain like fucking goon type bastards that sit in their PC all day. And they'll just drink like one of their versions of Monsters.
Aye, with a gooning.
When they're gunning.
You're a gooner.
We should say that.
Gooner
Arsenal fan.
fan.
I love a wee bit of fucking. What is that? Is that Gen Z or Gen Alpha slang? Fuck knows,
Yeah, Alpha, man. That's
Aye.
That's fucked is what that is, man.
Gooning.
Fuck knows. I don't know. It's funny, but aye, right.
Red Bull,
so
a joke.
aye,
Next.
Red Bull choke. Aye. Who are you picking then?
I'll just go with Aaron.
With me? To me?
Where you going?
Right. So
aye.
So my choke of the week. In fact, I'm going to shout the guy out, man, because he's got 3K subscribers on YouTube. I think he's got 3K. Let me see. So this was. I did like it. I said I would like it. Aye. So his name is Dr. Matthew Horkey. Let me just click on here. Right. Oh no, he's got 46K. Fuck.
Let's see him.
No, see him here. It's too funny.
There
Is
it is,
it
man.
England?
We actually love
Right,
that film.
no, it's so good, right? He's like
class.
this American guy, right? So this is the video. So me and Shannon last night, she was telling me about a prosecco that she liked, Canty prosecco. She was like, "Oh, let's get it, because I bought her in like Fleurs and like a bottle of sparkling rosé or something." And she didn't want to immediately drink it, and I was like, "Oh well, she must not like that." I was like, "Just pick up a bottle of prosecco that you like then." So got that anyway. We were sitting, had dinner, had one at like we were drinking one of them, and I was like, "Can I wonder about this? What is prosecco and do?" So I searched on YouTube and we found this woman talking about it. And I tell you, see the cunts that are like into booze,
Aye.
they are the weirdest cunts. Like they're all weird. So like I get this like this introduction to this thing. So it started off with this woman, and I'm not shouting her out because she's a bit fucking a strange woman. But she was talking about prosecco, where they come from, all the different, the extra dry stuff that I was talking about earlier, all that stuff. And she was just fucking weird. And I was like, right, whatever. But we were kind of into it because she was weird. We were watching her like expressions, the way she moved, and as we were sipping the prosecco, we were getting a bit of a laugh. So then I found this next guy, and he was like, right, what's the difference between how do you find a good prosecco and what's a is that a fucking
Is that a moth?
Mini moth.
We got a moth. We got a moth on set. Moth on set.
fuck? Right,
Kill that fucking moth.
There you go.
it's there.
We're just killing things.
The fuck? Dick? Yeah, I definitely got him there.
How's it not got to the light, man? Right. Right, so basically what the video name, then the reason it was so funny is cheap versus expensive prosecco. This guy's proper into all his booze and his drink and his sparkling wines and whatever. So I put prosecco as a sparkling wine. That's what it is.
Aye.
And it was basically just like, I know, so like what I want today the day is like them, and it was so weird. It was getting like pure autism vibes, but so was the woman before it, but so was everybody else that came up in all the videos.
Just pure choking for the Alks.
They all were, right? I don't know what it, because like kind that way when somebody's really into trains, like they were all getting that energy about wine.
Aye.
So I don't know if it's just special interest or whatever, or it just attracts a certain type. But this guy, he was like, right, so I've got a cheap supermarket prosecco, I've got a dear off the shelf prosecco, and then I've got a vintage prosecco. And he was like, I'm going to blind taste test them and all that. And I'm telling you, and he was like, what should happen here, and what the point I want to prove is that if you just spend a little extra money, like you'll get the quality and all that. So he went round each of them, the three of them, they were on paper bags.
Please.
And he was like, he would taste them, and he gave them a score rating out of like 100. So they rate wines and Proseccos and all that. They've got like I can't remember what the ranking's called, but it's out of 100. But I think for anything decent, it starts at like 80 kind of thing, and then up to.
Right.
And I'm telling you, so he's sitting and he's like shaking them and he's doing it like all these mouth and all that, and he's tasting them all, and he's like, right, I'm getting earthy tones for this one, and I'm getting this fucking fruit and this, and it smells like fucking this place I was when I was away, and fucking, and he does it with all three. And there was one that was clearly the worst, and there was one that was clearly the best. And then he went to the one that he was like, right, so I think this is going to be like the best one. And he was like, I'm sure this is the fucking, like, I'm sure this is it. And he lifts it up, and it's like, it's no the supermarket one, but it's the one that was $18 rather than like $300.
Right.
And he was like, oh fuck, and he was like, that's crazy. And I was like, nah, man. So, and then he got all three of them completely wrong, like what he thought they were. So the one that he said was the shittest was the dearest one.
Well, they're meant to taste the worst because they're old.
Aye, like
It's
so
just
it's-
but they lie to themselves as if it's like that's
I don't know how it hangs, but in a blind taste test, he could not tell the difference between the three.
That's
Aye.
crazy. And that's his life.
And that's his whole fucking thing. And I
That's
was just
crazy,
like,
man.
that's so funny because he was saying the supermarket one was like miles better than the deer one. Like, it was like, this is just like, he gave it like 10 extra points on top of the deer one. I was just like, Ken, this is too peak, man. Like, I was watching a guy struggle.
You would offer like this YouTuber I used to watch, and he does beers, and he's an American guy, and I had a quick look there, and I can't find the video. I'll need to because there's hundreds of them. He reviewed Tenants, right?
I think I know you're talking
know
And
about.
he's got like a
TikTok,
he's got
right?
like a hat on, and if this is the same guy, he pulls it into like whatever he's mugging. He's like inspecting. He's like, "That's a great." And kind of they name everything like because it's like a woody color.
Aye.
He'd be like, "Yeah, that's a whatever amber color and all that." And he tastes it, and he's like, just bearing in mind this is Tenants he's drinking, right? He's tasting it. He's going, I'm kind of getting like mango off that, and I'm like, mate, I've drank 1,000 Tenants in my life, and there has never, ever been a time I've tasted mango. That's mental.
Aye, that's it. So that's like a huge fairy that was like I was finding super interesting because I was obviously drinking a prosecco, watching him drink prosecco,
aye.
and he was saying all this shit, and I was like getting my nose in there, and I was like, he must be talking out his arse. Like he's got, but I don't think he is. I think what it is like it's kind of like, see when you do something 100 times, you start to notice the wee differences.
Aye.
And it might not mean that it actually does have a mango
Aye,
hang,
he's
but it
just
might have a certain
exotic
your
fruit
experience.
taste or
Aye, like
something.
a hang in
Aye.
his mouth that reminds him of this hang and and I think it's like a palate fucking thing. Anyway, the second part of this story, so that was fucking hilarious. Then we were like, right, there's a 25-minute vlog of this guy going to a wine tasting competition,
yes.
and he was a judge. Right.
Oh my god.
So he was a judge, and what he was, I'm just going to take you around about the city, like, and I'm going. And bear in mind, this guy's like awkward, weird.
What's the competition about? How do you win a wine tasting competition?
There's like 500 judges there, and then they sit at tables of 6, and then they get given like 100 different wines to try.
Oh right.
So he
they,
went as a judge.
they judge what the best wine is.
Aye, they score all the wines on
Right,
different
right.
thingies, and then the winners at the end get like, see the gold stamps that you
Aye.
get, like the
Aye.
stickers on certain wines. It's the ones that win these competitions.
Right. Okay.
So we watched it, and I shit you not, man, it was so peak, man. So he was like, and he is like, he's this funny, awkward, like American fucking guy, like he's like an Asian American guy. Too good. So he basically like he sat at the table and he's talking to the country about him, and he's interviewing cunts, and at the start everybody's just kind of like, they're all very proper, sitting upright and like, yeah, we love the wine, and like I particularly like them from this region with this kind of note and whatever else. And I swear, like 10 minutes into the video, every cunt, and I mean every cunt, is like at least half cup big cheesers, like slapping each other on like the sides when they're talking to each other. Their teeth pure red, like their teeth are so red because they've drank so much fucking wine, and like they're doing it in wee samples, but they're doing like 100 wines in one day, so they're all buzzed,
Aye, they're
fucking
wrecked.
And like the cunt that like does it, who's kind of like awkwardly vibes, but the end is like, hey, why you never recommended me to make a wine enter in the competition? And you're like, what? Where did that come from, man? And then like it cut to the next day, and he's like, yeah, I'm just out, I'm enjoying some tapas. It was in Mexico. He's like, I'm enjoying some tapas, and we're getting serenaded, and it's like women up fucking banging tambourines, singing and like dancing, singing. And then it just cuts to him, and he's like, Mexican cigar, no, and he's smoking a fucking cigar.
I love that.
And I was like, I couldn't, and then he went back and he'd done like 3 days of this.
Holy
And I
man.
was just
You'd
like,
have some heat on you,
it
man.
was so crazy, and I couldn't believe it. And then the last part is the first woman that we came across, where it's like the one that I said was pure weird and was getting,
Aye.
it just so happened that that guy that I was watching the video had interviewed the first woman about how she fell in love with wine. So we watched the first 10 minutes, and he asked her like, oh, how did you get into like wine? And she was like, oh well, like when I was younger, like yeah, like I was at art school, and like we all shared one bathroom in the studios. And like she was basically doing poverty porn, like this woman. And then he was like, "So how is it you get into wine then?" And she was like, "Oh, my dad got me a subscription. It was back in like 2005, and like that was back then. I wanted to be a musician." And she's like, "Yeah, so like back then, like someone with a laptop and no instruments, like that was crazy. We thought we were setting a whole new scene." And like I'm just like, who the fuck is this woman? And then the last thing she said before we put it off was, yeah, like, so like I was going to be like a pure art school girl and like just meet lots of cool guys, but then I met this guy and like it was like a rebound, and now he's my husband. And I was just like, what the fuck? Who are these weirdos? Like, where do they find them? So anyway, my choke is for cunts that are right into wine, and that guy that I fucking shouted out at the start, Doctor, let me just hang it. Dr. Matthew Horky, go and watch Cheap
So,
versus
man.
expensive Prosecco, because he gets it wrong and it's so fucking funny. And like you can see it in his face, like he really didn't think he was going to get it wrong, and he did. I'm just appreciative he still posted it.
Fair enough, man.
But I fucking up the cunts that are into their wine. That's too funny. I couldn't believe it. Could not believe it.
It's mental how much they choke for like whiskey and wine and all that, and getting into like the notes and all that.
Aye, just getting into it like with off a palate, man. It's like
Aftershave that has it as well. The same kind of culture.
another one. Aye, just fuck. I don't fucking know, man. I'm just a guy. Do you know that way? Like
I just drink it.
But it was
Bash
cool.
it
It was cool watch. Aye, defos. Very cool. But so I up the cunts. I'm going
Up
to
them.
pass to Jay for his philosopher of the week. He's fucking. He's definitely no looking up the way.
He kind of looks like Slavoj Žižek a wee bit.
It does a wee bit.
Right, so philosopher of the week, I decided to say fuck the world, and a guy that does film philosophy called Slavoj Žižek. Now, I'm fucked this because I don't know if he's Slovakian or
He's
Slovenian.
Slovenian.
Aye, is he Slovenian? I was leaning, but fuck it, right, he's Slovenian, right? He's got things called The Pervert's Guide to Ideology, which is like made about philosophy and all that, and then but it still does have all his stuff is all to do with like pop culture and that, but then Pervert's Guide to Cinema, he might even have a Pervert's Guide to Television, by the way. And it's just like a documentary with him explaining certain phenomena in films and that, where he'll be like sitting in the film set. He does like The Matrix, he does a lot of Hitchcock and all that, and it's like, it's basically all about like how well, as I said to you before, it's like films don't show you, I don't know what the noise is.
Do we know what the noise is?
We're hearing a noise, we don't know what it is.
Next door? Don't know.
Was it the back door?
Don't know.
Oh, the back door's closed.
No.
Somebody knocking it, no?
Don't know. It did sound like a knock. Knock,
You
knock.
see at the front door?
I'm not seeing
No, I think it's next door.
Think so. Maybe just slinging shit a bit. Anyway.
Back to it.
Anyway, aye, right. Anyway, back to
We'll
it.
cut that.
Yeah, fuck it, we'll keep it in, man. It keeps it real. So his whole thing was about, what was I was saying to you, desires, aye. So it doesn't tell you what to desire, it shows you how to desire, like watching films and that, and how like they chime, like films are more fucking philosophical than I think you would think if you're just watching one, but they're like to do with like fucking capitalism and like, well, the big films mainly are obviously
Aye.
you'll get things that maybe fucking avoid that, but like he talks an awful lot about like how like films and that are like kind of disgusting because they are like telling you what to desire, and they're all a bit like, there's like, we all enjoy like sort of pain and grief and like, I don't know, like there's something that is perverted about watching films and going, yeah man, fuck that guy, or yeah man, kill her, or yeah, let me see a superhero punch fuck out of somebody. So these are his ideas, and these are pretty fucking crazy, but if you were to watch The Pervert's Guide to Cinema, you'd be like, I guess he's kind of making sense. So I don't know how many of you have actually done like psychology and that, but ken the guy Lacan that did the mirror image theory thing, where it's like Freud almost. I don't know enough about this, but that Lacan had a thing, it's called the mirroring stage, and Wayne's go through it. Well, he says that Wayne's go through it, and it's kind of like it's kind of like a Freud thing where they like they kind of like copy everything, but they're like reflective of like their parents and
learned behaviour. But
Aye.
that's like the actual theory.
Aye, shit like that. So he talks a lot about stuff that's he says that we don't escape reality through fantasy, we are caught in reality by fantasy. He talks about like how weird pleasure is, like we're drawn to pleasure even if it fucking disturbs us, and we'll like cling to suffering and all that through films. Like it's honestly, the shit's fucking mental. Like he like critiques capitalism and all that through films. It's honestly, man, like I can't even do it justice of how fucking interesting it is, man.
I do like it,
he'll be showing you bits for the Matrix, and he's like, see this scene, this basically is representing like this, and this is why they've included this, and this makes me think of this and that, and you're like, what the actual fuck is going on here, man? Essentially, movies and ideas for folks' heads are just psychology, philosophy, politics, shit like that. Even if you want to just watch them and say, because there was a cunt we learned in my film philosophy course that was called Susan Sontag, and she basically had a book called Against Interpretation, and she said that interpretation was the killer of all enjoyment. And so she was like, just don't try and interpret anything, just let it consume you or whatever. But he kind of says it's sort of impossible to do that when everything is all just fucking built around like systems and society, and like obviously you can choose whether or not to believe it, but it is interesting to think that literally by anything being a film, it basically can't escape like the world we've built, because it is a product of the world we've built. Mental, man.
I suppose anything that we create is a reflection of like our experience in the world or what we know. So then it like by proxy has to include.
He also he's mad against capitalism, man. Which I mean that's
some films now are just big adverts, aren't they, man?
Aye, that's probably
the whole Marvel franchise is kind of just went that whole way. It's about getting that buck, man. The Fast and Furious franchise isn't about like, it's not about family anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
It's about right. We get 700 million. If we put another famous actor in here, we'll give him 20 million. I will probably get 8, maybe $1 billion. It's all about money, man. Money.
He also talks about how what the fuck was that thing? Oh, he also talks about how like cinema doesn't like hide truths and all that. It like shows us how we hide for like the truth. So like when we're watching something and we're getting like a perverted pleasure for somebody doing something, it's like the film's not trying to hide that for us. It's like we're trying to fucking hide it for ourselves, and now it's coming out through this watching of fucking films and shit. He also was saying that if we watch an advert and all that and we kind of laugh at it and we think it's fucking funny or stupid, but then still go out and buy the product, like he's like, that's the kind of shit films are tapping into, the same as advertisement, even though they're not really, but like, I don't know, it's pretty big fucking brain stuff, but I'm telling you, man, it is worth a fucking watch. It's on YouTube.
Aye.
He did a really good thing. Do you remember the bit he did? He was talking about Psycho, the Hitchcock, the shower scene in Psycho, how that was him pulling back the shower curtain was like Hitchcock breaking the barrier, killing the woman, the naked woman, and that was his like hatred of perversion in films. I'm pretty sure he goes into like a mad thing with that.
He does do a lot of stuff to do with the shower scene in Psycho.
He breaks it down, kills the woman, and that's like his like commentary about how film harms like the females in it. Do you know what I mean? It was like something like that. But Zizek went fucking wild on that. He went super fucking scion in that.
He does, I know. Like, that's the thing he does. He watches The Matrix and stuff, and he'll, like, break it all down into, like, this is, like, what year this came out in, this is what's happening in the world at this point, and this is, like, what the psychological stuff behind this bit of the film is. It's kind of hard to explain him, because he's a bit of a wacky guy. Like, you ken who he is.
He's quite wacky, aye.
He's like, maybe folk
speaks
will
at
know
100 mile per hour, man.
100 mile an hour, and he's got like a kind of tech thing, so sometimes it can be hard to.
It will like cut to him in like a middle of like a boat in the middle of like a lake or something, and he's just like saying whatever he's got to say on the boat in the middle of this fucking lake, and it's nothing about like why he's in a boat or that. It's just there. He's like, this is a good bit to record some of the film we'll do here.
Honestly, like I just it's weird that he puts all his psychological and philosophical stuff to films. It's mental. Because if he was just speaking about this, but he wasn't tying it to pop culture references, it'd probably be hard to maybe understand what he's talking about. But see all the films he's talking about, it isn't like it's purposely no like films that are like, I don't know, hard to understand, or like small indie films and all that. It's all like pretty big fucking films that are well known.
Have consumed.
Like Citizen Kane and shit like that. And it's just basically showing you how like it's hard to make films that can completely just avoid all this shit in our lives. It's mental, man. I don't know. You need to watch it to understand it because it's fucking cracked.
It sounds good, man.
You know, it is. It's off interesting.
I definitely saw some clips in that.
Where he's sitting in like the fucking because he'll be like sitting in like the room for The Shining, or he'll be sitting in the middle of the fucking a fight scene in The Matrix and all that, and it's like happening behind him, but they've like green screened it so he's sitting in there. And sometimes he's talking and you don't really fucking know what the fuck's happening, but he's some laugh. I would say that his main thing is like you're watching these films and you're maybe no understanding what's happening to you when you're watching them, and then after you're like fuck, like these superhero movies and all that. You think it's harmless. There's shit going on, man, that you don't know about. Probably like. I don't know. There's an argument to be had that superhero films are just superhero films, but I don't know, man. Like I don't know. There's like hundreds of shit underneath the surface about like, is there governments and CIA folk and rich folk involved in all of these, and what are these messages they're actually putting out there? Like what is Captain America? Because it's no just a mistake that it's Captain America. Like, and it's showing you this idea. It's definitely not a mistake, man. But they're not putting it out there to be like. They're not putting them out there as like fucking to immobilise the nation against fucking folk that don't look like Captain America, but like it's underneath the surface there. It's like they want you to consume this shit because they're just wanting they'll just fucking watch that and go, I'm on Captain America kind of thing. But what that does to your brain is mental.
If you've got 100,000 folk going, I'm on Captain America. Like what actual impact, how big the impact is it, even if you're not thinking about it? Like on a big scale.
So he's all about that shit. Whether it's psychologically speaking and you're watching folk get murdered and you're like, fuck yes. And you're like, I mean, no, wait. So it's mental, isn't it?
If you're sitting watching like Mad Max or something, folk just get absolutely obliterated, and you're like, yes, this is brilliant. But it's actually just
John Wick and all that.
John Wick. 200, 300 assassins just get
in cell block 99.
And you're
but
like,
how good's that?
Cunts' heads getting actual fucking thing, and I'm like, this is great.
I think that's an evolutionary thing as well, but because I think we can't. Like, it's not that we've still got the urges to kill folk, but obviously thousands and thousands of years ago, we kind of had to.
Well, the domesticated animals kind of.
When I did journalism at uni, like they taught you like what is news, like Gatlin and Rouge, and then Harkup and O'Neill were the two guys, and it was all about like they had like a list of all the things that made news, and at the top it was like what disturbs people and like violence and like celebrity and all that. It was like the perverted like pyramid.
That's in it actually hanging.
So you're like, what makes like a good news story? And it was anything that was kind of fucked.
That was the stuff.
We had a lecture that said, dog bites man, never, but man bites dog. News. We said that every fucking day, man.
There's that moth back, yeah, the fuck. So that's another thing. He argues that film shows how we subconsciously structure reality. Now we're trying to kill that moth. This fucking episode has been chaos.
That's crazy.
So he says that film shows how we subconsciously structure reality, and he talks about this French thing called objet PTA, which is the unattainable object of desire driving all action. So it's like characters chasing something and they don't even know what the fuck they're chasing. Like the kind of last week that moth's causing us a severe fucking issue.
That's too funny. There was mad pride in Bradley's face because he thought he'd got the moth.
What was that thing we were talking about last week? And it was like, was it something we were saying about a fucking film? And it was like, we're still trying to kill a moth for those who are listening and no watching. Right, nice. Fuck it.
It's alright. It's dead.
We're perverts here.
It's done.
Maybe we should be
just
doing
why I
perverts
watch-
on YouTube. But anyway,
Watch things die. Good.
what was that thing I was saying last week?
Mothman.
Were we talking about Hank films just being like cunts on a journey? And we were like, oh, that's just humans in general.
Aye.
He talks about that, how it's like that PTR thing is like characters are chasing something, but they like then you don't really know what it. Well, you do. You kind of know what it is, but like, what the fuck is going on in this film where it's like, oh yeah, man, the hero just wants justice. So it's all just like. You're kind of watching a film, you're like, I don't even care what the fuck or the point of this actually is. It's just characters wanting some for no reason. They don't even know what they want. They're just like, justice, or fucking like, yeah, stick it to the man or something, or fucking kill that enemy and he'll become king. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? So, it's just all about that. I think folk are easily able to separate films in real life, but I think he's quite keen to say, no, realistically everything that's happening in these films is like some sort of perverted part of your fucking brains, and it shows you can learn so much for films. So Slavoj Žižek, Slovenian guy that's no right in the head. So see, when I'm like, see in there 2 weeks, it was kind of easy to explain folks' philosophies, but see, try to understand or say his stuff when I'm sitting here on this couch like a fucking. There's an essay to be written. I can't write it in my head now, but.
Nah.
I realised when I picked philosophy of the week, I've realised, yeah, that's harder than it actually looks, because that's not just rocking up with your ass hanging out your shorts. That's actually like.
It's no Red Bull. Yeah. I told
It's so mad that we were able to all conversate for about 20 minutes about Red Bull and the culture surrounding energy drinks, but we couldn't speak about like a philosopher for anything. Like, I think that's just, it shows the difference in like how hard
it's
it is.
hard, but if anybody's out there and interested, it's weird as fucking. You might find it hard to get into, but he isn't talking about like crazy big weird shit. He will like just talk about a scene in the Matrix, and he's like, now why is this person doing this and that, and you're like, I kind of fucking scream. Right, anyway,
His accent is insane, man.
I'll pass it over to Mickey for Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang, kill the bees coming at you there.
Right, so I've got my two kind of shite guys at the road. This guy, a lot of people consider shite, but I actually think he's really underrated, man. I'm a big fan of the man. So this guy's called a Master Killer. He's got an APV on an MC Killer. Looks like the work of a master. This is my guy, man. Right, so I think he's like heavily underrated, man. So the cool thing with him was he wasn't like a rapper until he did one verse in the original album, the one I keep talking about.
Yeah.
The Mystery of Chess Boxing. He did a really good verse on that. But he was like a break dancer, so he was just like hanging out with them, like smoking weed and all that. But like just like break dancing. They were like, "Have you ever tried like rapping?" So he was like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'll try it." Drops the most insane fucking verse of all time, man. And it's fucking so sick, man. So I'll read the first bit.
Aye.
So he goes, homicide. So this is the first thing he's ever written, and he was like, homicide's illegal and death is the penalty. What justifies the homicide when he dies in his own iniquity? So he's going like deeper about like talking about the fucking death penalty and shit. Like how
Straight off the rip.
straight off, man. He was like, fuck, man, he's cooking. So he has like an interesting one because he doesn't really rap too much. He had like two goated Wu-Tang verses. So he had one on the Mystery of Chess Boxing and then on Triumph, which is the big posse cut.
Oh yes.
And it's he says some insane shit on that one as well. Like he goes deep as fuck. It's not coming to me right now.
I can't remember it either.
But then he didn't drop us. So they all had solo albums, but he didn't drop one until like 2004 called No Said Date. And everyone was like, didn't really pay much attention because it was Master Killer, and they were like, he like don't really care about him.
Yeah.
And it is fucking fire, man. Like it's so fire. He's got such a good like ear for beats and that. So we're talking about like fine wine. This guy has like aged like fine wine because he took. I didn't like him when I was a wee guy. Like I was a wee like 14-year-old guy like listening to Wu-Tang and shit. And I wasn't that fussed because he's quite slow. And he's quite kind of methodical in the way that he like raps. He's quite pedestrian, I suppose you would call it. He's quite relaxed. But then you like listen to what he's saying. It's like, fuck, man, he has gone like insane with this. Like, I like him a lot. I do actually like him a lot. But I'm putting him right here at the beginning of the season because he's not got that much he's not got that much stuff out there. So I think he's like proper like quality over quantity kind of guy, keeping it all like kind of relaxed and shit. But yeah, Master Killer. If you want to get some full Master Killer stuff, no said date, 2004 I think it was released. I think he released it himself, which is kind of cool as well.
I watched the kind of their albums named the 36 Chambers album is after that film. I think the film's called some Shaolin of the 36 Chambers or something.
His name comes from that film.
I watched that film when I was in college, man, and Ken, I actual fuck that Wu-Tang Clan and other references to that film and everything, man, because it's actual
because the film was originally called Shaolin Master Killer, and then they changed it to the 36 Chamber. So so it's all like kung fu references, like all of them. Like all the like mad nicknames. His nickname was like Noodles or something, because apparently that's like one of the fucking like the fucking one of the kung fu cunts in that, man. So he gets called Noodles. They all get called like fucking stupid things, man. Like you God, fuck you God. He's got called like gold. He got called Golden Arms or something like that, man. But they've all got mad names.
They're choke. It's not weird because a lot of folk for the like 80s and shit like that choke for like comic books or whatever, but it's mental that their choke is martial art films and like they all choke for it.
So it all comes from the RZA, who we'll get onto at some point. He was the guy that started the group, and he used to just go to like midnight showings in New York, and it would just be showing like 70s kung fu flicks and that, like shit that like you've never seen. Like honestly, you should watch him. I think he's got an interview with GQ on YouTube where it's like RZA on kung fu films, and he's got like the most insane like ball knowledge when it comes to like 1970s fucking weird fucking Chinese, Taiwanese fucking kung fu films, man. He's
That's
like
crazy.
He's coming on talking about like the 5 Venoms and all this shit, man. Like talking about like the Cobra fucking Cobra pose and all this, man. And he said that he got, because one of the films, I think, is the Shaolin Master Killer, was there's like a scene in it where they go, woo, Tao, and then that was it. He was like, that's the name of the group. And he was like, right, I'm starting a hip hop group, and that was it. Honestly, you should hear him talk about it. The guy is fucking mental with it.
He's
It's
like they
so
couldn't
good,
with
man.
wine, but with
the kung fu films.
And they're so
That's
funny.
wild.
Some of them,
So
man.
does Wu-Tang translate then?
Actually,
I actually don't know.
I mean,
I think Wu-Tang was the name of like the group in the film. So I think it was like a name of just
But
a
that
made
was
up
just
name
a
of the
family
dynasty.
name, kind of Wu-Tang then.
I'm telling you, I watched it. There's cunts fucking flying across the screen and all that, man.
That's so good.
Like it'll just be a fight, and then they'll be like looking at each other, fly across the fucking screen. And
So I don't know if you've ever seen like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, because that's like based off of like those old school stuff. What was that other one's at Hero? The other one
Hero.
was like, and but like the OG shit is so fucking goated, man. There's so many good like fucking mental scenes. I've no dipped in fully. I really do
dipped
mean
in
it,
too hard, man.
because it's kind of hard to find quite a lot like good copies and that. I think quite a lot got uploaded Criterion, but nah, I think it's quite hard to find. The ones that RZA's talking about, man, he's like spitting bars, being like, I've got this like fucking all VHS and all that. He's like just sitting in the gaff just watching kung fu movies all day.
They make them, some of them are like some of them are quite like westerns and all, in the sense of like in like western films you would get bits where it'd be like somebody about to do a shootout or whatever, and it would like zoom right into the cunt's face and be like
No.
the kung fu films have hundreds of that, man. Like you hear this noise and it'll be like usually like a gong hitting off something, like and then you turn
On the
and it's
eyes.
this cunt with this big white fucking like mental long cloak dress hang on with like a tash and a wee beard and like white hanged hair, and they'll just pull out a sword and flee across the screen. You're like, this is fucking unbelievable, man. Like they cunts were just having the best time.
Aye.
And it's like that. See the scene in Kill Bill. Have you all seen Kill Bill?
I've actually no. Weirdly,
So
I've
was
not.
quite good.
So
but-
seeing the like the restaurant scene where she starts like chopping like limbs off and all that, and it's just like this like blood cannon coming out.
Aye.
So that's
That
from
go
like
for
that's
the
from
full
like those
hang, eh?
old kung fu movies and shit, man. So good.
Aye, because I
So-
forgot Kill Bill sort of is like
Aye,
his-
it's a copy
his,
of
Well, it's a copy of Lady Snowdrop. If
Aye.
you've seen that, like to like the picture, the way they put the cameras and shit, it's the exact same film. It's mental. It's a really good movie actually. Really good movie. But yeah, Master Killer. So check out the Mystery of Chess Box and Triumph, because Triumph's got all of them on it, like all 10 members. And check out No Said Date, because it's pretty goated, man. It's pretty fire.
Sweet.
And fuck you, God.
And fuck you, God, for me back. And but then, so that's the 3 kind of not too much to get said about, guys. So
it's
we
just-
know hard the next time.
It's just sort of clicked in my head, right? Do you remember, was it you, God, that we said stood for? No, it was Capadonna, we said stood for something. Did we work out what you, God, meant? because I
Universal God.
Because
The one God.
I've just realised, right, what he's done, and it's very fucking smart. Because it's like anytime you say you're always mentioning
Fuck you,
God.
God.
Fuck you, God. It's
Fuck
like
you, God.
if you say fuck him, then you're being blasphemous against the Lord. And if you say I love you, God, he's instantly turned you religious. I'm just caught onto that now.
Yeah.
So if everybody's at
So
concerts
fuck you,
and that,
God.
we're like, I love you, God, he's like, yes, I fucking convert it every day. And if everybody's saying fuck you, God, he's like, well, they're all going to die for their sins. So smart guy, man.
Pick it.
Don't know if he meant it. but-
Master Killer's real name is Elgin. Did you get that?
Elgin?
Elgin, aye. How cool is that? Anyway, so that's Master Killer. So
Okay,
there you go.
cunts for Elgin. Met a few cunts for Elgin.
Elgin City.
I thought his name would have been like fucking, don't know.
So Elgin
Let me
Davies or
know. Let me
something?
not be fucking racist here.
I know.
Actually, right. Anyway, I was going to say I thought his name would be like. What one of them's called? Right, never mind. Right. What one of them's called Jamal? Is that? Go on, right, let's no do that.
One of them is.
Let's just shut that door.
It might be you, God's kidding it.
Is it you, God?
Could
See
be
if
you,
it is.
God.
We love that.
No,
See
he's
if it
he's
isn't any of them.
Lamont.
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 Lamont, man. Aye, what if Nano's got Jamal? Jay, what we got to do then?
Well, then we're cutting it out.
Maybe, I don't know, man.
That's
Aye.
because if you suggest any name and it has like a fucking like it's like a like
A black connotation, aye.
Man, you've just been cancelled.
He's just been cancelled.
nah, that's not right. Like,
Maybe I think about an
No,
like an
there it is.
person.
There, Master Killer's called Jamal Arif, but he was born
I
Elgin.
No, that's his one of his Earl names.
Right.
That's what
Right,
his
aye,
middle
so
name.
that,
So he
aye.
went right. That
See,
makes me
see
feel.
if
Jamel
we-
Arif,
See
aye.
if we get a Wikipedia page, does that mean that my other name will be Chesney?
Aye, also known as Chesney Hawks.
Class.
Chisney Hawks.
Anyway, that
I'm
was
changing
fucking
my
a bit
name
of
to
a
Elgin.
ruckus, man, wasn't it?
That was a
Aye.
ruckus. The
Yeah,
fucking
find the
moth.
ruckus, man.
Bring the ruckus in.
There was a moth. The camera ran out of battery.
There was a
I was almost
mysterious note.
cancelled. There was a
Ruckus.
noise, aye.
It's a mysterious note.
There was a mysterious noise on it. I'm not doing about that. I'm looking about. I'm going to fight the ghost.
Is this going to be the final episode in this?
I don't know. It
Aye,
might
we
be.
don't know what's happening,
We'll
man.
see how long it takes a cunt to buy the house. It could take a week. It might take longer. I don't know. Fuck knows. I'm guessing it's going to be fire sold, but who knows?
Anyway,
Class.
Aye.
aye, if you've managed to get this far, then you've reached the point where we're saying we don't know what's happening. So
Aye. We mentioned it briefly at the start, but fuck knows. We'll
We'll see.
post on the socials anyway. But it's been fucking real. And
many
I-
folk didn't get here like 4. Truthfully speaking, many folk didn't reach this point of the pod.
if you go here and have finals, right,
I got here.
sweaty ass. What in the comments? No, I don't like sweaty ass.
Write your name in Wiz Ear.
Aye,
Like
Wiz Ear.
WIZERE.
ERE. I was here.
Because I'm thinking to myself, right? Like, you look at the YouTube thing, right? And it's like average view duration might end up at like 17 minutes or something because there'll be cunts that come on and watch 1 second and gaff, there'll be cunts that watch the full thing. But I might be interested, like, who goes the GOAT, man?
Who goes folk? Well, man, sometimes I've got 10-second TikTok videos and it still only has a 30% completion rate.
Aye, so there's no
Aye,
chance.
and it's like, fuck knows, man.
We love you anyway.
Aye, love yous
Aye,
anyway.
Let us
Even
know.
if you watch, I mean,
Maybe it's still that one guy in Botswana.
oh, I meant to
the
fucking tell
Venezuelan
you.
boy.
Can I tell you quickly before that
Aye,
fucking explodes,
aye.
right? See how you get your shoes off there? That made me thinking. I forgot to say. I held myself back for speaking because somebody was talking, and then I forgot, which is probably a good thing. But now I'm talking. Bradley had set the episode last week to premiere, right? So when I went on at 3 o'clock, it was live streaming for 3 o'clock. Do you know that thing where you can set it to be like a live stream, and then the video goes to the channel? I went on and I looked at the comment. No, this isn't a bad thing. This was actually funny. I went on and somebody was live on the Disco Saloon channel. I'm like, what? Clicked on it was just the episode, and I was like, oh right, it's just set to premiere. So I just changed it to instantly upload. There was a guy watching it that commented, oh fuck, I should have screenshotted the comment, but it disappeared after this paragraph. He commented, because we were all talking about soaks and all that, he thought it was live. And he commented on it, and he was like, can you get like half a foot out or something? It was something crazy. It was like all 4 of us had soaks on, and he commented, can you get like them more out, or can you get something out? I should have screenshotted it. I forgot, man.
Must be waiting,
Bro's trying to get a
man.
nut off, man.
Yes.
So bush. I don't know how many folk were watching it, but this guy was in the comments, can I see more, or can you get married and move up? He was only wanting off a soak off or something, but
That's
he wasn't
crazy.
wanting the
Much.
full.
Much.
It was
Tenner.
price went up.
Aye.
That guy will never make it here, man.
I am so fucking buckled, but right, that he was watching that thinking it was live.
Aye, that's so funny.
He thought it was live, so he was commenting, telling us stuff today, and we obviously it wasn't live. So good, man. I love that. Fuck him. Right.
We should definitely do a live podcast for 2 folk to watch it, man.
Aye,
That's
for them
unreal.
to tune
Jealous to
in,
get a
man.
sock suit. Anyway.
Get your fucking soak suit.
That's unreal. I didn't get that, huh?
Aye, I forgot about it.
Peak anyway.
Cool.
Right, let's wrap it there. Fucking adios. It's been real. Fuck knows when we'll be back. We'll let you know. We'll be sure to update the socials, and other than that, fucking adios. Have a nice day / night.
Goodbye.
My guys, bye bye.
Good day.
Adios.
Good day, bye bye.